Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be sitting here with Lisa Drury. Welcome to the farm, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We've just been out the back for over an hour, and Lisa gave me a wonderful reading with her work, Geomancing the Stone, with wonderful selection of crystals and runes. And I thought, I mean, this will make you laugh. I thought we were talking about the farm and the direction of the farm and my intentions for the farm. But of course, it was really about me and my journey in life. And you know,
that works.
Exactly. It's wonderful how that works and magical too. So what is so interesting is I swear Lisa's been looking over my shoulder for the last few months, because everything that came up through the stones, and I haven't told her any of this stuff, was like things I've thought about changing, things I wanted to tweak. You know, could be like my thought processes, when do I get in my own way, my self-care, discernment, many things like this. And the stones were just picking it up and reading it back to me. And she's got a beautiful tapestry of the wheel that she has embroidered herself. And when you throw the stones, after you've set your intention, they land how they land. And then Lisa intuits and reads it back for you. And it was such a beautiful process, so profoundly wise.
It is an amazing process, and I'm so honoured that the Stones chose to work with me. I embroidered the cloth in 1988, so I've been working with the same cloth for 36 years, and the medicine wheel, I didn't even realize that that's what I was making, was a medicine wheel. It was all intuition. It was just follow my heart, follow my intuition, and see where it came. And then 36 years later, it's amazing. Every single reading I do, I'm just blown out. I just love my stones. I love being able to connect with them, and the stones absolutely love it too, because Jane, it's the stones that have been looking over your shoulder, not me. I can assure you of that. And what are stones but the record keepers of Mama Gaia anyway? And that's exactly what I believe we all have access to. In Adelaide, we actually are living on a bed of quartz. And I think that's why Adelaide absolutely loves some people. They go, oh, it's the best place in the world to live. And yet other people go, oh, I can't handle the energy there, because I think Adelaide is really a super strong, I think there's a lot of people being drawn here to this place this time, because a lot is actually going to come from it. And so us working together in collaboration is really important. And that's fantastic.
Yes, we don't really know each other. I first met Lisa a couple of years ago when I went to the Seven Sisters Festival, and I really wanted to have a reading with her, and I couldn't because she was always continually booked out. But we made contact after again, and I'm thrilled that she's here at the farm today, and also coming back on February 17th and 18th to join Matthew Greenwood in a collaboration, and I'm actually going to define that in a minute. Of a shamanic drum making weekend. So Lisa's part, which she's going to tell us about in a minute, is going to be over 2 days. So you book with either her drum making or Matthew's drum making, because with Lisa's, you're going to make an ocean drum on the first day and then finish it the next day and do a rattle, make a rattle. With Matthew's, you're only going to be here on the Sunday and work all day with him. So I know some people have been a little bit confused about that. It could be tricky to do both on the weekend, but anyway, it's going to be an amazing weekend here at the farm on February 17th and 18th, and it's posted on Facebook or in Humanitics on our website. So I want to now go to that with Lisa and say, well, Lisa, tell me more about the oceanic drum.
Tell you more about the oceanic drum. It's, I'll start by saying that the first drum I made was with 3 bears, and that was a gift for myself to say that I was actually adept at what I do. I think people work with spirit. We have to work with the belief, and also like we only have so much of the responsibility of our healing work. I think our higher selves or our souls really take over another aspect of the healing. Like I don't do the healing. I actually work with spirit. He does the healing. So there's sort of like a little step away. And when I go, right, I wanted to start my business, Geomancing the Stone Off, to present myself and do more geomancy with people. And then COVID shut all of our fairs down. And my mentor suggested that I pivot. And like I go, well, what do I do? And I love working with rawhide, and I love the whole idea of a drum. And that is because I'm a drum. I'm actually a skin stretched over a frame, and I've got a rhythm maker inside of me. And so I can see the correlation between who I am and what I'm doing. And so to do that, I didn't want to source heaps from anywhere else. So it was in the shed, try your plan. Okay, I'll try this, I'll try that. I've had successes and I've had failures, but it's something that I absolutely love to do. And with the ocean drum, because I live at Selleck's Beach, and Kuan Yin, she's an 18-meter stature at the Buddhist temple. She's there blessing the waters that I swim in and paddle on and catch squid from. And so the ocean is a really important part of our medicine wheel. It's water. And how do we actually immerse ourselves in water? And I don't think as humans we're really taught to listen to our higher heart. We can say, oh, I'm not happy, or I am happy, or whatever, but that's really just surface. It's the depth that is involved that really, I suppose, rocks my boat, if you want to say it
And
like
the why,
that.
the why.
Yeah, what and so I started to pivot my business making drums, and that was because my neighbour actually encouraged me to. So thank you, Ange. Soma Healing. She's not too far away, and she came with me the first day that I actually did a workshop, and that was in 2020. So that was September, and that day, well, actually that evening, a meteorite lit up the whole sky of the east coast of Australia.
Okay.
And that I had a skin soaking in the bath along with Angela's skin. Like I was going to make a drum and Angela was going to make a drum. But I was just so in awe at the process of watching her create a very special spiritual tool that I knew was going to connect her heartbeat with the heartbeat of Mama Gaia, or allow her to become the earth star, see our earth chakra. I believe that's where the sound of the drum works through, is that earth chakra. And I think being in Adelaide, on the Adelaide Quartz Plain, with being in Australia, so we get to meet fantastic people that match us in all ways. I think that we have an easier life in a way than a lot of other countries in the planet. And I think what happens is that our heartbeat goes through our own heart, or the drum beat goes through our heart, through the earth chakra under our feet, through to the center of Mama Gaia. And then Mama Gaia actually uses some of our loving energy, if you will, that happens when we are drumming. Then she can send it to other places on the planet that actually need that energy, that love. And so to have the ocean drum, it's beautiful. It's a double-sided drum, and it's sort of like a bit of a rain stick. And I play it. There's a reverberation that sets up within the two skins. So there's
no beater, you just use
just use the hands, or else I put the drum into my belly and I just move my body, and so the drum and the ocean sounds come from just the body movement.
It's got a mermaid feel to it.
It is. It feels beautiful. And so the buffalo drums, or the ones that I use with the beater, or I call them shamanic drums as well, they've got a purpose, which is beautiful. Same really, but the ocean drums with the double skin, the reverberation, and there's so many more ways that you can actually use it. So I love that I can play the ocean drum on my knee, and then I can keep the sound within quiet, like the ball bearings that I use within the two skins to make the ocean. They just roll over the skin. They're what's causing the ocean noise. And I can keep them quiet when I'm drumming, or else I can actually move them forward and put them onto the skin that I'm actually playing the
You're very interactive.
Yes, so there's just so many different sounds and layers upon what I actually get from the ocean drum. And so that's a really magical sound in my way. It's a magical drum. It's very feminine. I love that the sound is actually contained within. And I make all the hoops myself for the drums as well. And one thing that I love doing is actually painting the gold rim on both sides of the hoop, and I see that we're working within a portal. That's where Mama Gaia comes in. That's what actually allows us to open the earth chakra under our
Sounds
feet.
like a cervix.
It is. It is all of that sort of stuff. There's so much more to it than what I actually know.
So it sounds like it's been evolving for you with this journey with the ocean drum.
Yeah, I thought geomancy was layered, multi-layered. And when I got into drums, making drums, when I pivoted my business, I think they're a match because I use all of the elements that I use from the medicine wheel and geomancy. I actually use that within my drumming as well. And so I play fire on the edge of the drums, and fire like to warm up your fingers, you know, play single beat, play the double beat. I use the fire stroke for that. And then I have a water stroke. So the fire strokes are called teka. So they're the infills. They fill many different rhythms. And then I have a water stroke, I have an air stroke, and Georgie Galar, he's usually sitting on my shoulder. he reaches over and rubs his beak on the drum. His drumming is the air stroke. And
Okay.
so I like to start my drumming sessions with air. So I actually talk to my drum and rub the skin of it and say, you know, thank you. And I start thinking this is actually what I want to achieve from this drumming time that I'm spending with my drum now. And yeah.
So it sounds like when the people come to make the drums on the weekend, and from when I made my drum, it had to cure. I couldn't drum it. I think it was for about a week or something. So is it the same thing with the ocean drums?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then you're going to have a little come back either to the farm or down to Suffolk so everyone can come together with their drums again and learn more about
I
it.
am trying to run a drum circle on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m.
Cool.
I started Harmonic Earthwalkers, a Facebook group, because since 2020, September 2020, I've worked with over 100 and it's nearly 120 people to help them make their own drums. And what I know, the drums themselves are their own spirit, their own individual. They get to live again, the spirit of the skin, the spirit of the tree that makes the frame. That gets to live again.
Yeah, well, that's the shamanic side of it too, isn't it?
That's the shamanic side of it. Yeah.
It's all honored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think part of drumming and part of my drumming, and especially if I'm having a moment, shall we call it a moment, I think the rattles are really, really important as well, because a rattle still uses the same elements, the same four elements that's on the medicine wheel. I make the rattle, or we make the rattle from the earth, which is the skin and the stick that we find, and the seeds and the crystals that we put within the rattle, right? The sound of the rattle sounds most like water. So there's a flow to the rattling sound.
Yeah.
The way that the sound actually happens is from the friction of the stones and the seeds actually rubbing against the skin. So that's where the fire comes in, and the air. You've got to shake it in the air so you can actually feel it, especially if you put feathers on your rattle, then you feel it. So again, the drum uses the four elements in the beats that I use to differentiate the sound and make the rhythms and the patterns. And then, of course, the fifth element is space. And so in drumming, to me, it's really not the beats themselves that's the most important. It's the space between the beat. That's where you get the rhythm from. That's where
and
you
the listening
get
and
connection.
the connection. Yeah.
And say I have a drumming session, and I suppose it sounds a bit silly to say this, Joan, but it's actually when you finish drumming and you have that quiet moment where you're just not having the sound, but your body is still in that whole you feel
like holiness or something.
Yeah, you feel it within your whole body. You go, wow, what have I just done? And then that to me is when the earth chakra is most in my mind, and that's when I notice it's actually in the silence. So I know we're talking about drumming, and we're talking about ocean drums, but I think it's
a shame. It's same with the frame drums, because I did the 4 Seasons journey with the School of Shamanic Womancraft, and we birthed our drums, and mine was a huge journey, even in the creation of it, and the back of it, some people's drums are really beautiful on the back of it, where all the lacings are. Some would say mine is not. And I felt shame about that for a long time. But then actually we were talking about Carmen. Working with Carmen, working with my shadow side, it became apparent why my drum looks like it does. And I won't go into that now, but it's just really interesting how everything is so perfect. But I love my drum. I also made a 50 centimeter frame drum with Matthew. And I love that drum as well. It's very big and it's great for around the bonfire, but and it doesn't really matter the size. Like today, before I started with clients, I have a drum that I didn't make, a drum, deer drum. And I just started beating her. And, it's amazing we're talking about the earth chakra because I just felt my energy go whoom, right down to the core. And I wasn't even in the zone yet, if you know what I mean. Like I'd done some smudging and stuff. But it was like, oh, like an old friend coming back and having drummed for a while. And I just love the magic that happens of having my own drum and drumming when I want to, when I need to, but also in a group. The first time I really experienced drumming was at Confest, and there's about 30, 40 people in a circle, and I didn't know what I was doing, but it just took over. Like that's what I love about drumming too. I'm not a detail kind of girl, like I have to know it's a B or a D or a C or whatever. It's the feeling aspect of drumming that I just absolutely love. And I really get it with what you say about the silence at the end, because you've been feeling and connecting and you're kind of listening with each other's, but it kind of takes over. And then when you all finish at the same time without somebody saying we're finishing now, and then that pause, it's like, it feels like holy. It feels like a holy space.
It is a holy space, yes. And
Incredible.
so that's why I'm so grateful to be able to come here on the weekend to help make drums, because I think the rattle is really a beautiful way to shake through your aura. So to me, the rattle works higher up in my body. I like to sort of go, all right, thoughts. You go away for a little while and clean up the higher aura from my higher heart up. I've done plenty of healings using the rattle, shaking around people as well. But yeah, to me, what we're doing is magic. What I can't wait to see what Matthew is doing too. His 13-sided drums, like that's a sacred number. The number of moons, it's a woman's number. So like, yeah, I think what work we do is beautiful for the planet, and to have a shamanic tool or two from one weekend, it's going to be a bit taxing, I believe, on some people, right? Because,
but in a good way, it's that deepening with your connection with self. And, shamanism, from what I understand, means they who see beyond what you can see really, or see beyond the veil. And so it's working with all your senses, not just your eyes and your taste. And so, some people aren't going to know really what they're jumping in for. And it's not scary stuff. It might be profound, it might be confronting, it might be challenging, but it's the growth that comes from that. And
I think the sacred weaving with the two skins on the ocean drum too, I think you're weaving your birth medicine, really, because you are giving birth to another spirit tool that comes from you. And then to work with the same skin on the same weekend and ask for your spirit rattle to come through the next day from the same skin, it means that your spirit animal from that skin that you choose is actually going to have a drum that can take you places as you've expressed. And that's like playing by yourself, playing in a group, playing
for another.
Like if you're totally upset, like watched something on television, or you go, oh my goodness, like my head. I actually then go, instead of using my thoughts, that's where I start. And to me, drumming is actually a memory game. You're remembering patterns to play. And it's really funny because sometimes you go, oh, look, I'm getting good at this, or this is what I say to myself anyway. And I go, right, I've played the same pattern for, say, 4 minutes, because I think that's how long it takes to entrain all of your cells into the rhythm. Like you know, you keep up with the rhythm for a certain amount of time, and
Yeah.
you know, like, so it's not trying to bring you or be clever. It's actually really just working with that pattern, I suppose.
Well,
And
where it kind of takes over for itself as well, would you say? You know how you're kind of drumming and well, I'm doing beater here. You're drumming and then your arm starts getting tired or whatever, but all of a sudden you step through the portal and your arm isn't tired anymore.
yeah, you're actually in the zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's what is beautiful about the ocean drum, is that you're making a spirit tool for yourself to actually help you get into the zone. And any drum, any hand drum, like they call them the shaman's horse, because yeah, like when we are in our mother's womb, the first thing we hear is her heartbeat. And actually, we have a connection to our grandmother.
Yes.
So rhythm is so intrinsic within us. We are rhythm maker. We are a drum. And to make your own drum, birth your own drum, you actually get to express yourself through the drum. And it's really funny. I start thinking, oh, you're doing really good, Lisa. Like, oh, you got this rhythm down pat now. And you can guarantee it. There's maybe 1 or 2 more pattern repetitions after that. And I totally forget what I'm doing. I've forgotten it. It's like my head, instead of being entrained with the pattern and working on this level that is with spirit, or working with your earth chakra. I don't really know the terminology best to use. That's, you know, as soon as your brain starts going, oh, you're getting pretty good here, that's it. I've lost it. I've lost the pattern.
I'm sure it'd be the same if a caterpillar started to think about how he was walking.
Yeah. And then it's go, oh, look, you know,
Right, not cool. I got all these feet, and then
yeah.
Well, and I was thinking when you were talking, like, it's classic to pat a child's back, isn't it? We're drumming the child when we're calming the child down, or helping them settle, or
that's how intrinsic, I believe, we are as rhythm makers. And that's why it's so important if you can actually birth your own drum. That's why I feel such honor to be able to help people to do that. But I think a drum is fantastic for that connection to Mama Gaia, connection to everything that is within our earth. But I think the rattle actually is what calls in our spirit guides. So to truly have a rattle and a drum made on the same weekend, like, wow, I think, wow, that is going to be amazing.
It will be.
So,
I mean, I guess we need to point this out too. It's for men or women to come.
Absolutely.
You know, it's for both. So, or whatever anyone identifies with, anyone's welcome to come on the weekend. And also with well, regardless if you're doing Lisa's or Matthew's, you can stay on the Saturday night. You just have to let me know. So we sleep 11 in the Wellbeing Center. We'll say 10 because you'll probably stay in the little room.
No, I'll be in my car.
You're in your car, George.
Yeah, I'm sleeping with the galah.
So we sleep 11 in the Wellbeing Center, and we are on 24 acres, so you can happily camp, put your tent up, or you throw your swag out or whatever. And we're going to have a shared meal on the Saturday night in the Wellbeing Center. So
sounds fantastic.
Rock on. Yeah, it's gonna be wonderful.
And to me, having Matthew here on the same weekend, it doesn't matter which workshop you actually choose to do. We're all working with Mama Gaia. We're all working with the earth chakra that is actually under our feet. And we will all be channeling that that beautiful love from the crystals that is underpinning the Adelaide plain. So
Mm.
I think that the work that we are all doing together, the people that come to make their spirit tools,
Mhm.
you, Jane, for having this beautiful place, this earth chakra place to work from. And also, like, yeah, I know Matthew makes all of his own hoops as well.
He does, he makes all of
And I make all of my own hoops.
Mm.
So really what you're getting is a lot of love. That's what you're buying into. And the most surprising thing is going to be love for self. Like, and to be able to use the drum to look at how my mind works is fantastic. I love it.
It's a tool.
It is. It's a tool. And part of the use of the tool of drumming is to actually work with trance as well.
Mhm.
And so that's when you say that you don't need to think about it anymore. You actually just need to do it. You find your own rhythm. And whether you're working alone or whether you're working in a group, that rhythm is so important.
It's in the collective.
Yeah.
Collective heartbeat.
So that's
beat.
exactly what we'll be working with. And the rattles will not be dry. So you're not going home with a completed rattle. You're going home with a rattle that you will then have to pull apart and then fill up with the seeds and the crystals when it's dried in a week or two.
But you
And then you put it back together, and then you get to decorate your rattle. And so it's exactly how you want it to be. So it's not just I'm doing it in a weekend and walk away of I've done everything. It's actually a journey that you begin. And
sounds like commitment to self as well.
that's what the drum is. I'm a drum. And so by birthing another drum, it's an external drum, and the more love I can give my drum, the more I can find the rhythm within that drum spirit is how I can actually find my own natural rhythms. And that's a tool. See, that's a tool we all need. And that's where the drumming, the open heart comes from.
And what if we were increasing that heartbeat across the planet of love that's tuned in with our heart, with the heart of Gaia, and just a reverberation that just.
So instead of using my mind to plug into mainstream media and get worried about all of the calamities that's supposedly happening all over the world, I choose to see the abundance. And the thing is, there's an infinite number of beats in my drum. It's infinite. I can play it as much or as little as I choose, and the drum is just sitting there patiently waiting for me to pick it up and find that rhythm that's so natural. It's who I am. That's what first thing I heard, and the last thing that I hear is going to be that natural rhythm within. And connecting with the earth chakra like we do, connecting here on the farm for well-being, connecting with Matthew and his beautiful shamanic work. We're all just connecting to Mama Gaia, and we're doing what she needs.
We're at her altar.
We are.
Yeah, creating our medicine tools to enable us to help ourselves, to help each other, and to help the planet. So I hope you can join us. And if you are considering getting a ticket, please do get it soon, because both Matthew and Lisa need to make the frames ahead of time. And there's paid plans available to you. You just need to email me. And it's going to be an amazing weekend. I feel so blessed to have these two wise craftspeople coming to share their incredible abilities, humbleness, hearts, and just the very lovely people that they are, No, they're heart-centered, not ego-centric. And
and that's exactly what the drums are there for. And you know, because that's when we recognize our drum ourselves, it's actually our heart that is the rhythm maker, and it is that heart-centric. The more love I can make in my life, the more Mama Gaia gets to share that love, and then she can spread it as far and wide as what I can imagine it. And my imagination's pretty big.
I think that's where the magic happens.
Mm.
Anyway, Lisa, we might leave it there, and thanks
We'll
for
see
taking.
ya.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this, and we'll see you on the farm on February 17th, 18th. One or the other or both. So, yeah. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming to the farm, gifting me that wonderful reading. That was amazing. And I'm still kind of digesting it. Yeah. All I'm saying is bye for now and see you soon.
Bye for now. See you soon. And I'm really looking forward to it. So
Yeah,
it'll be an amazing experience for us all.
it will. All right,
See you
everyone.
then.
Bye for now. Just have to find the magic button here again. Here we go.